This is dope in here, man. Yeah. I'm sure that your TV is going right there, huh?
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have special guests. We have Gian with Revibe. Welcome back, guys. It's Joel, Sal with details. We have a special guest, and we are in a special location. This is the new location of Revibe. If you guys don't know Revibe, this is Gian. We met Gian, funny story, we met Gian a couple years back, and we were actually shooting a video in San Francisco.
Yeah, I remember that.
And a gentleman approached us. We were shooting with Danny. Shout out to Danny. We were doing a video with Danny, and this guy drives by and he yells, "Details!" And we were just kind of, at this time it was strange because nobody used, back then no one knew who we were. And he stopped and he goes, "Hey, I'm a detailer too."
Yeah.
Pops the trunk.
Want to see my setup?
Yeah.
Boom.
The setup has everything. We're like, "Oh, that's a clean setup. You have everything." And he said, "Yeah, my boy Gian in the East Bay did it." And after that, I said, I gotta get a hold of this guy, Gian.
Yeah.
Turns out Gian saw the video, and then you reached out. You said, "Oh, that's one of my setups." So, and I had watched, and Gian had a video about his newer setup.
Yeah.
Because remember, that was like one of your first ones.
Yeah, that's actually the first
Is it
setup.
the very first?
Yeah, the very first setup
crazy.
that the person reached me out like, "Oh, I'm from San Francisco. I saw a video on YouTube and asking, oh, can you do mine also?"
Oh.
So I was like, okay, sure. That's how I got the idea. Oh, people really asking for setups like this, That's why it came up to me like it could be another side of the business.
Nice.
So that's the first setup.
Yeah, it's better than buying a rig for some people.
Oh, yeah.
Use what you have.
Yeah, exactly.
If I could have done that and saved some money
on the Baja,
Oh yeah, I'm thinking I still might get one. Yeah, that's crazy. That so we've been here through the whole progression.
Yeah.
So the very first one we have documented
Exactly.
on our YouTube channel, and then we reached out to one another, and I knew Gian was from Oakland, so I said, okay, I want to, and that's where details started. So I wanted to definitely, I was like, I gotta show this guy some love. He's doing it right, and I liked your video where you started showing your rig, and yours was a little bit cleaner and refined than the first one, obviously.
Yeah.
But I said, okay, this guy's in Oakland. I definitely want to reach out to him. So we met up at PNS East Bay. Shout out to Steven at PNS East Bay, the whole PNS family. And we shot our first video.
Yep.
And Gian actually showed clips of that.
Yeah, you just posted the one where we were talking about, you got it was funny because I was like, hey, everything manifested to what we were talking about in that video.
Yeah.
We said you got to pick one here soon, detailing or building rigs. You found a way to do both.
So now we're in this facility, this beautiful facility here in Union City. The Bay Area has everything you need. He has his assembly and setup room. He has a lounge area with a pool table. He has a gaming area. He has a loft up top. We're in the lounge area right now. He also has his wet and dry stations here. Full setup. The place is clean, organized. Like, this is next level, guys. This is when we see guys open up shops and we see guys kind of operating, we do get a little nervous because we want to, especially anybody that's friends with us. We always want to make sure that we're giving any kind of guidance or insight that we have on any type of business.
Yeah.
Sal dealt with heavy inventory in the past, warehousing, me, space optimization, organization, just leadership in general, and just overall functionality. Anything that we can help to have people progress and to do better and not make mistakes, we want to do. And that's what's so important about having a community and a network of guys that that you can trust, and through the progression, everything that Gian's done, he's kind of stayed on track and stayed true to, and he's done everything calculated.
Yeah.
Like, he's not making moves over here off of emotional decisions.
Exactly. Because that one is very important. Like, not because you thought about it, it's you have to do it. Yeah. You still have to always think of the worst case scenario can happen. You're not gonna look at the business in 2 years already. You have to look at it like as in now, the present times, that what's gonna happen, what's the worst thing can happen in your business. You have to calculate that, or if that worst case scenario happened to you, can you be able to maintain the business? I saw a lot of, not a lot, I saw a few people who opens their business out there and they went crazy on it and they really don't know what they're doing, you know? And then next thing you know, they're closing out shops.
Yes. And that's a lot of, and if you guys have never opened something from the ground up, or if you've never experienced it or had a family, it's a lot of work.
It is.
It's a lot of work. A lot of people do a lot of the work themselves because it's expensive to do a full construction, gutting, painting.
Yeah.
Like that takes usually that's the second or third business that people do.
Exactly.
You know, to cut down on time, or when you know what you want exactly from the get-go.
Right.
I'm sure moving in here, the idea probably changed a couple times, modifications, just small stuff, nothing crazy. And that's going in with the plan.
Right.
So can you imagine opening this up or attempting to start it with no plan, with no idea, just saying,
it'll be crazy. It'll be hard if you don't have that.
That's just like crazy risk, right?
Yeah,
like
for
that's
sure.
like you want to talk gamble. That's a gamble.
Oh yeah,
like,
and you're gambling to lose.
But people do it all the time.
That's true.
And I don't understand that. Like
What?
this is what we try to tell people. There's strategic ways of doing it, and Gian didn't do this overnight. This was years in the making.
Exactly.
So for people to say, "Oh, he has this," or "He has," like, we don't know how late Gian is up at night. Like, we don't know how many builds Gian has done, you know, without taking a day off.
Right.
We don't know what he sacrificed.
Yeah.
Like, nobody talks about that end of the business. If you could kind of give people the real deal on, this is like just a few examples of some sacrifices that people don't realize. Sometimes you have to go to extremes to get to here the right way.
Exactly. So so I started looking for a location back in, I think, March or April, and then we looked at a few other locations, and we were like, oh, that one's too expensive, that one's too small, or it's the location is not nice, and something like that. And then I was like, you know what, let's not do it this year.
Yeah.
You know, so we put the plan on the side, and then so we never thought about it anymore.
Yeah.
So
Well, good for you that you didn't settle.
Yeah.
That's another thing. People rush in and they rush into something they don't really want.
That
Right.
patience sometimes, that's
hard.
yes, and that's a resistance because you want it so bad, but it's like if you do it at the wrong time, that could destroy it all.
exactly, it's either you make it or you lose it. So we put it on the side, and then I reach out to this location back in April, and then they're asking for a lot of stuff. And it's too expensive, my wife's saying. And so we forget about it. And then we go back in, I think, July and reach out to the agent. I was like, oh, is the location still open? Or is still available? And he was like, oh yeah, it's still available. If you're interested, let's settle everything, and then you can get the spot. So that's when we go. My wife and I talk about it. Should we do it? And she was like, if you think we should do it, let's do it. And so we did it. And of course, we start working on this, but like end of July, and then the whole month of August, work on this like nonstop. And also, I was busy on building setups. So I have a lot of orders back in since June.
That's what's funding this.
Exactly.
So you can't just stop that. Yeah.
No. So if I stop that, this one's
This
not going to happen.
gets to stop.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now you're losing money twice.
Exactly.
So that's another logistical end of it that people don't realize. It's as you're trying to build something, the workload usually doesn't stop. If anything, sometimes you have to take on more
to compensate on this one.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I was busy. It's August already. I'm still working on my June setups. There was some June order, and then I was busy. And then I have to make time because I already put the deposit on this one. I already paid the first month.
Money already came out.
Exactly.
You got to recoup.
It's already running. So I have to keep doing everything. So like we as a family, we love going out. Especially my wife. That stops for the month of end of July and August. So we just focus on this one. Oh, we have to finish this so we can go back to making
Yeah,
money.
it's not a lifetime sacrifice. It's a
Exactly.
short-term sacrifice. But that's even just that, Gian, is so hard for people to do. Like it takes a level of discipline to progress the right way.
Right.
You've reduced your risk so much by not having to stop working. But what you did was you cut the money out other ways
Right.
to make sure that you're able to accommodate and keep things going. Obviously, you have a lifestyle. You have normal
Yeah,
bills
you
that you have
have
to
family,
pay.
yeah.
You still have things that it's not like, oh, I got to shop now. Everything's no. But now the money goes into the shop
Yeah.
before I make money
Again.
coming back around for
Yeah.
the shop. So
True.
the initial startup investment is a lot, and it does take a lot. And I think guys underestimate that a lot.
Oh yeah.
You're
'cause,
always going to go over budget.
here first the loft we did everything by ourselves, me and my pops. So I had the coat because first I want somebody to do it right for me, and ask for a coat. They asking for like 20 grand just to build the loft. I was like, you know what, let me go to YouTube.
Let me figure out how to do this real
Let me
quick.
learn that, how to do it. So watch a couple of videos, like do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
What's the specification that I need. So everything is on point. So I learned that, and then me and my pops, we built it, and we say we only spend the materials, which is
Like
about
$500 if that.
no for this one because we want everything in specs
Oh, okay.
for loft for
Yeah.
this size.
Oh, that's right. You built the whole. Yeah, no,
We
that's
built
right.
everything.
Yeah.
So I think that the material is about like 3 grand
Yeah.
compared to 20.
20.
So we save,
Yeah. 17 grand.
My man said, I'm building this rigs. I can build a loft.
And here's the thing.
Exactly.
Also, is when you hire a crew to do it, if there's anything that they come across and any adjustments that's made,
another.
that's easily
Extra.
yeah. So they're like, oh, we're gonna need this. Oh, it's gonna be. Oh, by the way, we're at least now you're able to control. Okay, Dad, we don't need to build all of that right now.
Yeah.
we can finish that later
future,
on.
exactly.
But let's just get what we need done now. Opposed to having the crew come in, you're probably gonna want. You're more tempted just to get everything.
Yep.
100%.
Exactly. And same on everything. Electrical, I did electrical. I was like, so there's an order needs a 200-gallon water tank. And then I saw a guy selling it for less in 3 hours away. So I drove there. While driving, I was watching how to do electrical. So I was driving and watching the videos how to do electrical.
Yeah.
And then I learned it as soon as I got back. Boom, we got electricals right there. So
See, this was like a study also in resource management. You see, he has family. He's working like all hands are on board. All the support is there from friends and family and the community.
Oh yeah.
When you manage your resource, he's going to save money somewhere. He's watching how to learn a new skill set.
Electrician, contractor, detailer.
Welder.
Wow. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Man.
It's crazy, and this is what entrepreneurship looks like. This is what self-employment
Right.
and what freedom
Exactly.
looks like. And we're truly excited for you. Like this
Thank
me, this feels like family. Like this feels like we're winning. It feels like we're
Yeah.
all getting this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because 2 years ago we weren't where we are either, and it's this progression, and it's this steady, and this just also proves the people that you surround yourself with,
True.
and those that you accompany yourself with,
Right.
you do have a different expectation and standard and just outlook on things. We have, Gian took our School and training
Yep.
2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, and that class had a lot of guys in it that are doing really well right now.
Right.
And to see their growth, and they're all close to us. They're all like within an hour. I think one of them's down in LA, but for the most part, all of those guys, you just see their progression.
Right.
And it's been tough for the industry for the past, I'd say 2 years here and there for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
But those guys that have gone and done those trainings and stayed within our network and are passing around the advice, the tips, because it's not just about the detailing. It's about the business. It's about how do you deal with obstacles that come your way?
Sure.
How do you overcome certain things? Or sometimes it's just, hey, is this worth it? And some people may just be like, don't do it. Bad idea.
Yeah.
And that saves a lot of time,
Right.
like when you were asking the question about the products and stuff. And I said, okay, well, if the logistics and the price margin are within reason for you,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
And he was already like, he's like, I'm using the stuff already. I said, that's a green light. I said, if it's stuff
That
you're
is going
already,
to waste.
I said, it's already a green light, then
Yeah.
that's a no-brainer.
Exactly.
Those are all calculated. Those are, imagine that's risk assessment as well, because imagine you doing that, ordering this stuff,
Yeah.
just with the hopes that somebody's going to purchase them and you're going to
Exactly.
recoup your money, let alone make a profit.
Yeah, I hate doing like stocking or like inventory.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Because it's
That
for
makes
me-
your work so much more complex too.
Exactly.
And that's a whole nother expertise that you have to learn.
right, and that's for me. It's a money that is just sitting there.
Yeah.
I hate sleeping money.
Yeah, see,
Like
and-
that. That's why you have money, put it out there, and make that money make money for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of having it on the shelf.
Can you double check if that's stolen?
We're good.
Yep.
Imagine we're
I was
not.
like, I don't want to have to do all that over again.
Imagine we're not filming.
I know. We've done it before.
Oh shit!
Like
We've done it a
hour
few
in,
times,
man.
Like an hour
Oh,
in.
no.
And that's usually when we have like the best conversations.
Right?
You're like, oh, we didn't get that. But,
Press it.
so we were in the area today. We're going to go see Steven at PNS. We wanted to
Right.
stop by here. But on our way here, me and Sal had, we're talking about a few different things with Gian. And I had some questions for him. And I really wanted to make this video just so people can learn about what it takes to start a business, to operate a business, to have a welcoming space,
Right.
to be able to accommodate multiple things in one space.
Yeah.
Because Gian just doesn't do, like I said, he has the wet station, the dry station. He has a full lounge area. He's going to have a gaming area. He has a loft up top, and then he has the assembly room, and then he has a retail up front
Right.
and the service desk. So there's a lot of components here. Most people would probably, we've been to shops, about 80% of the shops that are this size, it's all just one thing, maybe a little tiny front office.
Yeah.
So you think about the potential
Yeah.
that's in that space that they're not utilizing.
Right,
And
exactly.
again, it's like inventory sitting on the shelf.
Yep.
That's money right there.
Yeah, that each and every space in this warehouse is we thinking about how can we make money through that space. So the plan here on Revive Center is to utilize every space, which is we're not just using this space just for me to detail other people's vehicle. This Revive Center is planning to be a facility where other people can use it. Let's say people, car enthusiasts that, they don't want other people to touch their vehicles. They want to work on their own. They can bring their own vehicle here, use our equipment, all of our stuff, and our facility just for let's say $50 a month. They can use the facility. And also for other detailers, let's say mobile detailers that especially working under the sun, when it's raining outside, they have a ceramic coating job, they don't have space, they don't have a garage, or the customer don't have the garage. So they can just bring the vehicle here, just pay $20 an hour, and they can start working on the vehicle. So it helps all everybody in the area, so that's where for me, it's making money without touching the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're already thinking about having a training here. So a lot of people would value something like this, especially in the Bay Area, because a lot of clients don't have a lot of space. If you live
Right.
in Fremont, Oakland, San Francisco, your parking spot is so small, or your garage space to try to wash or really take care of your car it's almost impossible. So to have a space like this where you could come out, spend a couple hours on your beautiful Porsche that you love to drive, that nobody else gets to touch, you know, and you go for a nice little drive to and from, you know, it's that's such a quality service that's, you know, I think it's slept on. And we're not talking car wash. We're talking the people who really want it, like you said, the ones that don't let anybody else touch your car.
The great thing is, it's just not for DIYers. You got real professional equipment here. You got the tornado, you got the pressure washer. Like you got some real good stuff that you run in your own rig, that we run in our own rig. So
for people not to have to go and buy all that stuff alone and say, well, the place where I go, it's like going to an Equinox gym. Right. It's like they got the cold water in there for me already. They got the warm towels. They got everything I need. There's nothing that I don't, you know. It's that level of service, and with that level of service, you're going to attract you're going to get the top tier.
Hey, not only that, the environment this place gives. It's clean, quiet. Like you could really, you can really get zoned out over here.
You can relax here.
And the good thing about this facility, the plan here, other detailers that, you know, people want to start going into the business, like the detailing business, you know, if they don't have rigs yet, they don't have spot yet, you know, oh, you have a client, let's say, meet me on this place and I'll detail your car over here.
Yeah.
You know, so you can charge your customer, let's say you're starting $150, you're only paying $60 for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You made $90 doing what? Just the detail.
And you're in a comfortable facility.
Exactly.
You have
your customer here. We have free coffee, free cookies.
Yeah.
You know.
You got it. You
perfect for part-timers.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. For somebody who just does it on the weekend. It's like, hey, I have a client this weekend, and you know.
Just book it.
Yeah.
And your contract is there.
Yeah.
Sounds like money.
Oh yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Exactly.
Such a great plan, such a great execution. How are you doing mentally after? Because I know it's been a crazy year.
Oh yeah.
Like, how are you doing? Because I know it takes a lot, and we kind of touched on it a little bit. But for those of you who haven't gone through something, because it's a lot of, you're pretty much putting everything on the line every time you make a big move.
Right.
And a lot of guys don't. I don't think we realize that as much as, you know, like there's things that we're planning on doing even this year, and it's like, whoa, now the investments aren't a few hundreds of dollars.
Exactly.
The investments are like thousands for the things that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, you kind of, it takes your breath away sometimes. You're like, am I really going to? Okay,
I have to make it work. I have to make it work.
Yeah.
You know?
So when we get to that point, guys, and it's fun, like it's just fun to be able to talk to somebody that's going through it with you, or that has gone through it, because they totally understand, and that's where you get the real knowledge and the real game-changing advice, you know, is when they're like, no, don't do that. Or because you kind of have somebody to help advise you through and navigate through the areas that's kind of the unknown.
Yeah.
Well, I guess just renting this space in general, how much stuff did you learn about all the stuff that you have to go through to keep the lights on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine all the city regulations that you have to learn about, and all the hassle, especially here in us California folks.
Yeah, there's guys that we've seen who finally get into a space, and they'll be on video and they'll say, I didn't know that I had to pay the first months, the last months.
A month and a half.
Yeah, I was like, how did you not know? That's pretty standard.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I have to learn.
Unless you figured out some terms in the beginning where it was going to be, you know, some kind of exception made. That's pretty standard.
Right.
You know, it's like, well, how would you not know that you know? So people are like, you jump in and immediately you're 6, 8, 10 grand in the hole. You know, so it's like, you got to be working. Like you got to jump in, keep the, you know, and during this time, Gion's lucky enough to have his business to where he's able to work at his hours, at his pace. So if something did come in for a rig, he's able to get taken care of, and then still allocate time to be here.
Yeah.
But some people during that time, if you are only detailing, you may have to spend all your time here or actually work here as it's getting built.
Right.
Some guys do that. Like they get the space, even though it's not finished, it's not ready. They have to work at it because they have to make that income.
Exactly.
So luckily you had something where, you still have cars coming in, but again, you have something else that's bringing in that money that you don't have to be using the space. Because if you're doing a car here, you obviously can't be doing construction at the same time.
No.
Those are things to think about too, guys, when you guys are doing a build out, or even if you're doing a garage studio. Like for us, our garage was out of commission for how long? Like a whole summer.
2-3
it
months.
doesn't look like much, but when you go in there, you're like, okay, you guys really did do a lot of work in here. Like we literally gutted it, like everything painted, flooring. It's a lot of work. And for that little space, I was like, man, this is a lot of work. This is why we don't want to go any bigger, But we have the luxury of having that at home now, and we were using it for multi-use for videos. So,
Right.
So during that time, I even tell guys like, hey, if you have to get a part-time job, get a part-time job. Like anything that's gonna help with you not having to pull out more funds or sink any more funds in, anything that's gonna offset, because there's cost in building something. Those costs, you know what I mean? Like the couch, and this is nice stuff. It's not like you went and got cheap stuff. Like everything is nice. So there's a pool table in here. It's like pool tables are not cheap. So there's things that he has a certain standard that he wants to, give and serve to the detailing community as well as to his clients. And I think that standard, he's allowed himself to give that standard by cutting cost in other ways or making up for it in other ways. Otherwise, you just try to come out of pocket.
No.
It's just not feasible, and that's how guys tend to go under. It's like, oh, well, I want the nicest stuff. I want this. I want that. I want that. It's like, you may not be ready for all of that right now.
You don't have to get everything, at the beginning. But if you can, just, you'll get it. What happened on this is, we cut the labor so we can get the nice stuff. So that's how we do it on this warehouse. And you asked for the emotion or the sacrifice that you had to make to make something like this happen is you just have to work. You have to make it happen. If you really have plan, nice plan, how it's gonna make money for you and how you can get to that point that you start making money. It's for me, we planned it for a long time. I have this idea like 2 years ago.
It's almost like obsession.
Obsession.
That's what I always tell people. I say, when I have an idea or when I have, I do multiple drawings. I'm thinking about it all the time. Any idea that pops in my head, I always have to have a pad with me, so I write it down. And all of those, at the end, you look at it, you're like, oh, it's everything I wanted.
And also, that's why I like driving far or long drives, because that's when my mind is working. If I do if I do it like this, is it gonna be like this or this? So I always think about the worst case scenario, not always think about the worst case. Don't think about when it succeed or make a lot of money for you. Think about the worst case, just like the space, because this one is not cheap. The space right here
doesn't look cheap.
We're in Union City, guys. We're in the Bay Area. We're in the South Bay.
So to make that monthly rent, I had to think about, how many setups do I have to make to pay the rent?
To take care of it, to break even.
To break even.
To continue
That's the worst
to
case.
operate.
That's your worst case, to break even. How much
you don't want that, but at least if I hit this number, we're good for the month.
Exactly. And also you have to think about the bills at home.
Yes.
So how many setups or how many details do I have to do a month just to pay the rent? So that's my thoughts on by opening this. So if I only have to do 20 jobs a month detailing, this is being taken care of. And then all the money that I'm gonna make on the building rigs.
Now you're above. Now you're profiting.
Exactly. If I did my 20 jobs, I'm good.
You're good.
So everything's gonna be there. And also my wife be bothering me like, I have a lot of stuff on the front yard or the backyard. Kids
You have
gonna-
normal responsibilities
No.
at home too,
Yeah.
you know.
So my wife was like, go get that spot, put all your stuff here, so the house can be a house now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to get this spot.
Nice.
That's great to hear that you have that in place, knowing I got this covered with my detailing.
Oh, yeah.
That's already done.
Oh, yeah.
You don't
So-
hear people plan like that. You know, and it's you would think it's common sense because you look at what your operating costs are.
Right.
You look at the work you have to do in exchange for that operating cost. If it's not panning out, if you had to do
not.
40 cars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you had to get 200 people in here
Right.
to come in and rent the space.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, is that even worth it? Now I have to work really hard, harder to
Right.
get, you know, to profit.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much as if I was just doing it out of home.
Yeah.
You know? And
For
I
sure.
think people realize that too late. You know, they sign a 5-year lease and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
well, you know.
We got 3-year lease on this one, so my wife and I be talking about it. Like, can we maintain that? You know, sometimes some days that you're not. Can we really make that money a month? Adding like another 5,000 on our bills, and we were like, oh, how many jobs do we have to do? How many setups do we have to sell? You only sell 2 setups a month.
Yeah.
You're set. You're good.
But
You know?
now you have this nice facility. Now the creative juices are gonna be flowing. Now you're not like you're already doing it. Like
Yeah.
what else can I do here that's
Right.
gonna bring in more income?
Organization and workflow and accessibility also.
Yeah.
And when you're here, you're probably going to be a little bit more focused on the work,
Right.
like the assembly at home, because it happens with me. You can get distracted really easily. Well, I'll go out there and I'll take care of it. I'll wait for the sun to go down, or I'll just do it tonight.
Let me relax
or I'll
first,
do it
yeah.
tomorrow, or
Yeah,
you
the
know what I mean?
procrastinating
Yes.
phase. Yeah.
So when you're here, it's a
You know,
reminder.
you know,
Hey,
you have
I
to
got to
work.
keep this thing moving. I got to keep the machine going.
Right.
So.
Right.
So that concludes our interview with Gian here at Revibe. We are going to end this video with some dope shots of the facility so you guys can check out. And if you guys are in the Union City area, go ahead and stop by, say hello to Revibe. If you guys are detailers that need to use the space, or if you're an enthusiast who has that nice car that nobody else could touch, feel free to bring it by and use some professional grade products and tools and get it done the right way. Gian, you want to shoot him the address? And I'll let Gian take it away from that.
All right, guys. So this is Revive Auto Detailing Center and Lounge Area. We're located in 1240 Pacific Street, Union City. We're planning to do our grand opening in September 22nd. It's a Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And we're gonna have food, raffle, and some drinks. You know, just celebrating Revive Center.
So if you guys are in the area or if you're not in the area, definitely worthwhile to make the trip out here. Me and Sal will be here. A lot of our School of alumni and a lot of detailers from the area will definitely be here to support Gian, his family, and the new Revive Detailing Center.
All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Sal and Joel, Revibe. Catch you guys on the next one.